What's up, comrades? I'm Rad. This is Red Panda Revolutionary News. Every week we cut through the lies of the corporate media to bring you the truth about our world from a revolutionary communist perspective. We're not here for reformist daydreams. We're here for analysis, for understanding, and for building the consciousness we need to fight back. Today we're starting with a headline so obscene, it perfectly diagnoses the terminal disease killing our planet. Capitalism, a new report has just confirmed that 60,000 multimillionaires, a group that could fit inside a single football stadium, now own 3 times more wealth than the poorest half of humanity. That's 3.9 billion people. Let that sink in. 60,000 parasites versus 3,900,000,000 human beings. The number is so high, it's truly unfathomable. The report from the World Inequality Lab is a treasure trove of horror. It tells us that the richest 0.001%, the true vampire elite, have seen their share of the world's wealth grow by 50% since 1995. Meanwhile, the bottom 50% of us are left fighting over a pathetic 2% of the global pie. On income, it gets worse. The top 0.1% people like your Musks and Bezos earn as much as the entire bottom 50% combined. Think about that. A group no bigger than the population of a small city extracts the same amount of wealth from the global economy as 3.9 billion workers, farmers, and caregivers. This isn't an accident. This isn't bad luck. This is the precise, logical, and inevitable outcome of the capitalist system functioning exactly as designed. And here's where we need our first lesson in our guiding philosophy. Dialectical materialism. Don't let the term scare you. It's simply the scientific tool for understanding how the world really changes. It says we have to look at the material reality, the cold, hard facts of who owns the factories, the land, the banks, and who does the actual work. The contradiction here is staring us in the face. The socialized collective labor of billions of workers worldwide versus the private appropriation of that wealth by a microscopic ruling class. This contradiction isn't static, it's dynamic, it intensifies. As the report shows, the wealth of these multimillionaires grows at nearly twice the rate of the wealth of the bottom half. The gap doesn't just exist, it actively widens every single day. This is the dialectic in motion. The system creates its own gravediggers. Now, the report makes another critical point. A century ago, Lenin analyzed imperialism, the stage where capitalism goes global to loot entire nations. The methods have just gotten slicker. They don't need to send gunboats for every resource anymore. Now they use the financial system, debt, profit, repatriation, structural adjustment. The result is the same, a massive net transfer of wealth from the global south to the pockets of the imperialist north. This financial drain is 3 times larger than all the so-called development aid flowing back. Here's the question. Here's the question.
What can we do to combat this inequality?
But on the other hand, these billionaires often don't want you to look under the hood, and they're constantly finding clever ways and different ways to shelter their money, move it around, try to hide it, or just coming up with just new.
Let's go to the other end of the spectrum, because we really need to grasp the enormity and the scale of what a billion is for this whole video to make sense. 1,000,000 seconds is just 12 days. And a billion, with a B, seconds is 31 years. The scale difference is mind-blowing. To put this into perspective, if you worked for every single hour of every single day since Jesus was freaking born and you made $10,000 per hour, you still wouldn't earn what Bezos makes in a single month. Oh my God, it's so bad.
What does this loot pay for? Not hospitals, not schools, and certainly not saving the planet. It pays for mega yachts, space joyrides, and the continued pillage of the Earth's resources. Capitalism is destroying the planet because maximizing profit is fundamentally at odds with ecological sustainability. can't have infinite growth on a finite planet. The billionaires plan to escape to Mars. They're leaving the rest of us in the dust. Faced with this nightmare, what do the polite, left liberal authors of the report propose? They beg, they propose higher taxes and more spending on social programs. Notice the words they never use: capitalism, socialism, expropriation. They want to convince the oligarchy to be a little nicer while they're literally drinking our blood and burning down our house. They asked, why won't the ruling class accept these sensible reforms? Why would a tiger change its diet? The ruling class has spent 40 years waging a vicious, successful war on every social gain workers won in the 20th century. They've collapsed taxes on the rich. They've dismantled unions in the US. The Trump regime is the naked, authoritarian expression of this oligarchic rule. They will not be taxed out of existence. They will protect their wealth with fascism, with censorship, with police states. Democracy is incompatible with this level of economic tyranny. So what's the answer? The data itself screams it. The report, without ever saying the word, makes the unanswerable case for expropriation. Expropriation, confiscation, taking back what was stolen by the collective labor of humanity. The wealth of the 60,000 isn't theirs. It's social wealth created by the global working class, hoarded in private hands. Our demand isn't for a bigger slice, our demand is for ownership of the bakery. We must seize the fortunes of the billionaires, place the mega corporations and banks under democratic workers' control. Reorganize the entire global economy not around private profit, but around human need. Free healthcare, free education, green energy, and ending poverty. The fight for equality is not a budget negotiation. It is the fight for socialism. It requires a revolutionary party rooted in the international working class armed with the science of Marxism. If this analysis enrages you, good. That's the first step. Don't let that rage be misdirected. Don't fall for the traps of nationalism or fascism. Study, organize, join the fight. This is Red Panda Revolutionary News. Subscribe. Share this video, wake people up. We have a world to win.